came to us real estate, and so the program is brought to you by Landlord Real Estate. And I hope everyone is ready for this. There's a lot to actually take home from this program, and hopefully we'll pay attention or be attentive to it to the very end, to get the full gist. And I can say some of us are around, but we can't wait for others right now. And so I'll be introducing the speaker for today to start off, and his name is Terry Omodibo. Terry Omodibo is an expert in is a business analyst. He's been around in the real estate industry for a while, and is ready to actually share a lot of information with you. So I'll be introducing Terry in 2 minutes. I hope I have enough emails. Okay, not yet. Okay, I have some emails. If you haven't dropped your email, you could drop it right now so that you can get a copy of the ebook that we have, because when we start, those after we start wouldn't actually get a copy of the ebook. So this is the best time to actually drop your email to get a copy of the ebook, because we won't be sure of those who came out early, when others to join. So we want this those emails that are those that really joined us right now to actually drop their email so that we can proceed. Okay, so 1 minute to go, and Terry is ready. I'm sure he's ready and is gearing to go in 1 minute. And I would have said we should introduce ourselves, but I can see some names on here. And if you want to talk about yourself, you can feel free in 1 minute. Anyone? Anyone? Okay. All right. So I'll be handing over to Terry, Terry Omodibo, to start off.
Wow. All right. Thank you, Chinedu. Can you hear me loud and clear? If you can, please let me know. All right.
Yes, okay.
All right. If you can, let me know that you can hear me, Chinedu. Thank you so much. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. I celebrate you. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm so grateful. All right. Awesome. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, wherever you're joining me from. Thank you so much, everyone joining this afternoon or evening or morning, for wherever you're joining from. I celebrate you. I could see Sadiq there. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, Glory, for joining in. Thank you, Chuka, for joining in, and several others right now who are on the platform. I really celebrate you, and I want to say thank you for taking this as very good information that you want to learn so much more from the wealth of experience from myself and some others in the industry. So thank you so much for joining in. And before I commence I want to celebrate the Group Managing Director of the Landlord Real Estate Limited for this opportunity to be on this platform this afternoon. Thank you so much, sir, Mr. Abiodun, Abraham Abiodun. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so grateful. And I want to say all the way up, it's going to go from one level of glory to another. Thank you so much. All right, so without wasting too much time, I believe this is a good afternoon, and every one of us that are here, we have some other things to do. So I'm going to go right into the conversation for this afternoon, and I'm going to make it straight to the point as much as possible. But before I go into what I have to say, let me feel the pulse of those in the room. All right, so if you are excited about being a part of this webinar this afternoon, let me see that in the chat room. So I'm going to the chat room right now. Let's talk some more. Let's talk some more. All right, let me go to the chat room now. If you're excited about being here tonight, this afternoon, sorry, or this morning, wherever you're joining me from, let's see that excitement in the chat room. You can just put that I'm excited or I'm ready. If you're ready, say I'm ready. All right, and also you want to share with me just at the feedback. All right, awesome. I could see that coming on right now. So it's I'm ready. To say, I'm ready. All right, so let's feel some other pause from those in the chat room. Say, I'm ready. Gloria, I'm going to say, yes, I'm ready. I'm excited. That's it. That's it. All right, you want to go a step further? Just let me know in one statement, what's your expectation? What's your expectation from today's webinar? What is that one thing that you want to learn at the end of this webinar? Of course, you know the topic, things that you should consider when buying lands in Nigeria. So that's the topic. But I want to see from the audience, what's expectation? What is that one thing that you want to learn? And also you can keep that, I'm excited, I'm ready, coming in from the chat room. All right, let me see that in 1 minute before I go into what I have today. In 2 minutes, let's see that coming in right now. Glory, thank you. Good to see I'm ready. I'm excited. All right, I'm excited too, Glory. Chuka and others on the chat room, please let me feel your pause. Just let me know you're ready and share me one thing that you want to learn or one thing that you want to take as a take home from this conversation. Yeah, crypto updater. All right. All right. If you put your name, maybe also add your name too. Just say, I'm ready. I'm ready. All right. I want to know everything to consider when I'm buying lands in Nigeria. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for joining in. Awesome. Awesome. Great. All right, so I'm going to go into right now into what the conversation is for this morning or for tonight or for this afternoon. I'm going to go straight on and I'm going to run pretty fast. And this is not supposed to take another 30 minutes or so, and then we'll be done. All right, great. Thank you so much. So keep that coming in, and then we'll go straight right on into the conversation. All right, I promise you it's going to be very short, straight to the point, and then we'll be done in no time. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen right now. And then we can take it up from there. So if you can see my screen, please let me know you could see my screen. Please let me know you can see my screen. All right, if you see my screen, just let me know. I can see the screen. I can see the screen. Let me know quickly on the chat room. You can see my screen. All right. Can you see my screen? All right, great. All right, great. You can see it. Oh, fantastic, great. All right, awesome. So let me just go straight on, all right, into the conversation. Things to consider when buying land in Nigeria. That's the topic. Things to consider when buying land in Nigeria. Like I said, I'm going to run very fast because I don't want to waste your time, but I'm going to go straight to the point and explain as much as possible. Then we can take questions at the end of the conversation. Awesome, great. So what are the things that we need to consider, all right? Sorry, let me see if I could do this. Okay. Okay. All right. Awesome. Great. Awesome. Great. So everyone, every day, thousands of Nigerians at home and in the diaspora. Sorry, hold on. Thousands of Nigerians at home and in the diaspora hope to buy lands and homes in Nigeria, especially in big cities such as Lagos, Abuja. But the common recurring challenge that runs through their minds is how to safeguard their money so that they won't be duped of their hard-earned funds or lose their lands, coupled with the terrifying stories that normally accompany the smooth transfer of these lands because of the prevalence of land scammers and dubious real estate companies that specialize in defrauding prospective land buyers today. All right, so if you agree with this, and this is like you have a reflection of what your pain points are, also let me know in the chat room. Keep that coming in. I'll be so glad to hear that. All right, if this reflects you or reflects someone you know, let me know in the chat room. Okay. All right, so always say it's simply don't lose your hard-earned money to real estate, land scam. That's the whole idea about this afternoon's conversation. All right, that's the whole idea. But before I dive into the story tonight, before I dive into this, let me quickly share my story. About how I got into this. First of all, I bought my first land in 2005. Okay, 2005, just pretty after school. I worked for a few years. It's about 2 years or so, just about 2 years plus. And I was ready. I had some funds, and I was ready to purchase the land. But I was really, really very scared. Very scared at first because I was scouting when I was scouting for land. Very, very scared. Right? I've heard stories of people who had issues with maybe the Omodibo, those who are landowners and all that. I've had several issues like that with people. I've had several issues like that from people, and also have a personal story, my own dad too, from our land that we've had for several years after we're shocking us after several years. We've used it for poultry. We've had so much from that property. And then someone just came in and said the land belongs to him. And we had to go through all that. At the end of the day, there were settlements at the end of the day. And we got the C of O, but it cost us a whole lot more. And a lot of, we learned from that. So I personally learned from that. So it was some of the things that I knew I was so scared about, the fact that there were issues, all right? There were issues at that. So I really was scared, okay? But I was also ready to go through it because I know that real estate investment or buying lands were the way to go for me. But what happened is that the first thing I did was change my mindset. So I changed my mindset. I changed my mindset because I had to let my fears be beneath while I was ready to go through the whole process. So what did I do? First, like I said, I changed my mindset. And the next thing is that I went after information. I went after knowledge. So I bought 2 books on real estate from people that I felt were very, very good people. I had all the information that they had. So the next thing I did was look through it. So I read through these 2 books and I was implementing. So learning and implementing at the same time. I was learning, I was implementing, I was learning, and I was implementing. That was the way for me. And the next thing was that after a while, when I was pretty ready, like I said, I had the funds to do it. I had to look for someone also who is an expert. So I looked for someone who is an expert, and then I asked him to hold my hands on in the journey because I didn't want to make a mistake. I didn't want to give money to people, and at the end of the day, it's going to run into a lot of issues, okay? So that helped me, and after that, I went ahead to buy my second, buy my third, buy my fourth, and not just only in Lagos State, but in Ogun State, also in my home state, and the rest. They say it's history. I was able to also buy with other people. So I had friends, we came together and bought lands as far back as 2010, 2009, and 2010. So why did I share this story? I share this story to also come to terms with the fact that a lot of us right now are in that state. You are really scared about going on. You are really scared about the prospects. You are really scared, okay? So I shared that story to also resonate with you and say, it's the same thing for me at that point in time, but I changed my mindset and I went for information. So what should you do? So before I go further in this conversation, I encourage you to take a notepad and pen to take notes, and more importantly, plan to stay till the end so you don't miss out of any bit of the very important information I'll be sharing about the topic today. So those who stay to the end of today's conversation, we get a free gift, and also you stand a chance to take advantage of the special offer I'll be making at the end. So get ready, take your seat, all right? Sit where, take notes, and get ready as we hit on right now into things that, okay, into things that, so I put together things that you need to consider and must be strictly followed by anyone who intends to purchase a landed property in Nigeria, especially in Lagos, so that you can prevent fraudsters from duping you of your hard-earned money and also losing lands to Omodibo, land grabbers, and fraudulent real estate companies. So are we ready? Okay, so let me go right now into the chat room. If you're ready, put it again in the chat room. Let me see that chat room, right? Let me go to the chat room. If you are ready right now, say, I am ready. All right, say, I'm ready. I want this chat room right now. I say, I am ready. Are we ready? Okay, let me see that coming in. Say, I'm ready. I'm on the chat room. All right, let's see that I'm ready. All right, Glory says I'm ready. Okay, Sadiq say I'm ready. Who else? Who else say I'm ready? Put that on the chat room. Let that come in. Let that come in. All right, great. Awesome. So while we keep that coming, I'm going to go ahead. Like I said, I'm going to run through this pretty fast because I don't intend to keep your time, take so much time from you. All right, so I'm going to go straight to the point. So follow me, and then also take notes. Please take notes so that you can be pretty abreast of the information I'm going to be sharing with you. Things to consider when buying lands in Nigeria. So number one thing you need to consider is your budget. If you want to buy land in Nigeria, please, the first thing you need to do is consider your budget. Why should you consider your budget? Very, very simple, all right? There are different areas or different states or different cities, different communities, different locations, all right? So the prices of lands vary from one community, one location to the other. All right, so you need to consider your budget so that you know exactly what you want to, where you want to buy. If you meet me, for example, the first time and you say I want to buy land, the first thing I'm going to ask you is what's your budget? Because your budget will let me know exactly where I need to refer you to, all right? Where I need to refer you to. So your budget is very critical. If you have determined to buy a land in Lagos or any other part of the country, one very key thing to consider is having a budget. Why? Number one, I said, a budget serves as a guide. It serves as a guide to help you and also help the person you're talking to be able to know exactly where to direct you to. Okay? All right, great. Now, the next thing you need to consider, all right, before I say that, one more thing on that is that it helps you plan your finances. All right, it helps you plan your finances so you don't get stuck along the way, especially if you are opting for a payment plan. Okay, for people who want to break it down into several, you also need to look at that holistically so you don't get into the middle of the whole journey and then you couldn't be able to go through it. So budget is the first thing you need to consider. Number two, are we taking notes? Number two is you must consider your objective, your purpose is very critical. Before you decide to buy land anywhere in Nigeria, it's very essential to have a purpose or an objective for the land. You must have a purpose. Why? Because there are different things. You must know exactly what you want and what you want to use it for. Why? There are two things to consider when it comes to your purpose and your objective. Number one is commercial. Are you going to be using it for a commercial purpose or for a residential purpose? So we want to know, is it going to be for people to live in, or is it going to be for a place where it's going to be for commercial purpose? You want to build, maybe you want to build a shopping mall, or it's going to be close to the market and all that. So it's going to be for commercial reasons. It's going to be in a hub spot, a commercial hub of that community or of the state. So all these are the things you need to consider. All right. So purpose and objective is very critical when you want to buy lands in Nigeria. So like I said, commercial then means you're buying the land for investment or cash flow reasons. So buying it probably to rent it out, all right, for commercial purposes, for gains, or probably those places are places where maybe banks and other people, banks and other industrial activities are going on. So commercial is number one. And number two, broad reasons or broad objective is residential. That means you're buying the land for someone to live in, or for other people to live, for you to live in, or for other people to also live in. Okay, so residential or commercial is an objective. So you must be able to spell that out so that you can be guided properly. Number three, okay, are we taking notes? If you are taking notes, please put it on the chat room. Says I am taking notes. Number three, it's your location. So the location plays a very vital role, very vital role in the overall value of the land. Right? Location is very critical, very critical. So in choosing the location for your land, you must consider the potential growth of that area. Don't buy land where growth is not going. I did that mistake some years ago. Right? I bought land because we were buying land, but I never considered some of these things. That's the reason why I am sharing this from experiences. You must look at, where is the government going? Where is commercial activities going? Where is growth growing? Does it have a potential? All right, does it have a potential? So if you look at Lagos State right now, there's a potential for growth in some areas, all right? And also in other states, same thing, there's a potential. So you must consider growth, or you must consider potential growth of that area when you're purchasing, and the location is critical. Also, land do not depreciate, but it appreciates. So buying into a strategic location will increase your chances of making more value in the future, all right? In the future. So very critical, you must consider your location. Okay, number four. All right, so there are other areas there. Before I go to number 4 point, another area you also look at is, when it comes to the location, you must consider the soil type. What's the type of the soil? Okay, you must look at that too. All right, and also the topography. The topography is all about, maybe is it a hilly area or is it a slopey area? Because all these things come to play in the value, also in the price, and also in the construction of the house that you want to build in. So you want to look at the soil type. What type of soil does it have? You must also look at the shape. The shape is also another one. I remember I bought a particular land at my home state. All right, the shape was very funny. So where the architect was actually designing the drawing, it was pretty tough. All right, at the end of the day, when it came out, I didn't really like it, but I didn't have any. Please, can we put our microphones on mute, please? Oh, thank you so much. Oh, great. So the shape, the topography, which I talked about, is whether it's hilly or slopey. You must also consider that when you are buying. Okay, so location, critical, very critical. Then number 4 is the land size. The land size. All right, what is the size of the land? So I'm going to run through this and then we'll move on. Like I said, I'm going to run it pretty fast because I don't want to take too much time in this conversation. All right, so consider the size of the land you're buying to ensure it's very accurate and according to what the land buyer or landowner told you. Okay, so there are different land sizes and it also plays a vital role in the price. So the land size will also play a vital role in the price. So be aware of the appropriate size of the land and be familiar with the definitions. These particular definitions of plots and acres and hectares. Okay, so let me just, in terms of explaining that, so plot size, the size of a plot varies from different reasons. So the standard is 50 by 100, 100 feet, or 50 by 100 feet, but this varies from state to state. All right, sometimes it's 60 by 120, sometimes it's 50 by 100. So it varies, but the plot size is standard, but from state to state, it varies, okay? Then we also have what we call acres, all right? Acres is like 6 plots. 6 plots, all right, it's about 40% of an hectare, but it's 6 plots together, okay? But inside the 6 plots, you're going to also have roads and other things being put for it, all right? So it's also it's about 4,046 square meters, or 43,560 square feet, okay? So this is just to at least to explain that the size of the land you also need to consider when you are making buying decisions of land. Then the other thing there is hectares. Hectares is the largest of the 3 sizes, all right? And the hectares measure about 100 meter and 100 by 100 meter, or 328 feet by 328 feet, or 10,000 square meters. So a hectare is about 2.5 acres, which is about 15 plots, okay? It's about 15 plots, so that's about 2.5 acres. Okay, so with that explained, it's very important to know that these measurements vary across Nigeria. So I've said that before, though the above measurements are standard, but due to factors like your location, so it varies from location. So the sizes of a land, the size of a land in Ikeja is different from the size of a land in Ibeju, or different from the size of the land in Lekki, and different areas of different states. So it varies from state to state, varies from location to location. And also some of the circumstances that surround the transaction also have an input in the land size. So for, like I said, for Lagos, for example, the standard measurement is 60 by 100, 60 by 120, but that is about 648 square meters. But also you also have some people or some companies or developers selling 500 square meters, some 450 square meters. I've also seen 400 square meters. Of course, all right, if you divide 600 by 2, you also have 300 square meters. So it varies from state to state. And all right, like I said, in the Edo State and Port Harcourt, we have 550 by 100. So you must consider or look at your land size when you are making a buying decision of lands in Nigeria. Okay, number 5th point is accessibility to the land, proximity to the road. Like I put that there very clear, proximity to the road. I remember the first time I was trying to buy land in Ogun State. So the guy told me before we went there that this place was fantastic, it was great, it was this, it was that. And then when we were driving, I was like, I look at the distance from the road. How long will it take me to get to the road? And of course, bad roads and all that. The roads were slopey and we were turning and turning. Even before we got to the side, I was like, this is a no. For me, straight on, right? Because I was looking at somewhere that have easy access to the road. And then some other persons took me to some other places. And even where I'm even doing this from, it's the same place, all right? It is very close to the expressway, very close to the road. So what I'm trying to say with all this is that proximity to the road is very critical when you are making a buying decision, or when you are buying lands in Nigeria. So good road network will guarantee easy access to the location of the land you intend to buy. It is necessary to consider how you can access that land from major roads before buying it. Good road network can attract quick development to the area where your land is located, thereby increasing the value of your property. So very critical. This is just to buttress the other fact that I've said. Number 6 point is the title. This is very, very critical. I've seen a lot of people, all right? Not a lot of people. I've talked to lots of lawyers in Nigeria. The first thing when you're talking to a lawyer, all right, you say you have land to sell or you want to buy land. The next person they will ask you, what's the title? So title is very critical. Or what are the documents on the land? Now make sure that the land you are buying is duly registered and have the necessary legal documents, titles to avoid problems in the future. All right. Now, these are some of the things that we have taken into cognizance in Landlord. Okay. Very, very critical. Very, very critical. I'm going to talking about that more as I move on in this conversation. Title is very critical. The title on the land is very critical. Make sure that they are in place and all the documents are the right documents so that you can avoid problems in the future. So the first thing or document that is required for you to check out is what are the purchase receipt. Now, you as a buyer, you need to get the purchase receipt for your properties you're buying. Okay, you must get the purchase receipt. Why? It is an evidence of due payment of the purchase of the land, and it's usually required even when you are registered the land. The first thing they will demand for is where is the receipt of purchase for that land. Okay, so purchase receipt is number one. Number two is approved survey plan. You must have an approved survey plan. So after the purchase received, the next thing is an approved survey plan. Now, for some people who are also making buying decisions, you also can request for an approved survey plan. Why? Because the document helps you to reveal, all right, it helps to reveal the true ownership status or in any land or of that land, and also helps to reveal if such land is under any government acquired or committed lands or areas. So that's why it's critical. And also ensure that it's duly stamped by the right regulated authorities registered and a registered surveyor. Okay, ensure it's duly signed. Why? Because you don't want to run into scammers or you don't run into fraudulent companies who are actually selling things to you that you know that is not going to fly for you. All right, so an approved survey plan is very critical when you are making buying decisions. The next thing there is the deed of assignment. Deed of assignment is that document that is prepared by the lawyer that says that this land belongs to this seller and this land belongs to, right now is being transferred to this buyer, okay? Right, you must ask for, it's very, very critical document that is required as landlord real estate. When you make purchases into some of our estates, all right, or some of our lands we're talking about, you will get a deed of conveyance or deed of assignment. Now, what is that document all about? It's the document, like I said, that shows that this land is being transferred to the buyer, this transferred from the seller to the buyer, all right? A legal document is very, very, very important, and it's also given or written or is prepared by the lawyer, by the lawyer, okay? Now, the next document there, or the next thing or document or title that is also very critical is the Gazette. Now, the Gazette is an official record book containing special government details. Now, what's the Gazette? A Gazette shows the communities of villages that have been granted excision and the number of acres or hectares of land that the government has given to them. Okay, so some lands may not have titles like CFO and all that, but they have what we call the Gazette. So, for example, this happens a lot in Lagos State. There are some land that its government acquired in the past, but some communities or some villages will approach the government and say, this land belongs to us. Okay, so the government says, yes, this land, we have this land, but we have given you social portion or this portion of this land. And also because of that, to ensure we don't have issues in the future, we are also giving you this document called the Gazette to show that we transferred or we gave you an authority to actually own this land and also sell it to other people, okay? So that document, like I said, is called Gazette. So there's a number for that, it's a record book, and there's a number for that. So, for example, if you are buying a land and they tell you that the title on that land is Gazette, all you should do is request for the number. There's a number that is given. You can go there, check in the lands registry, and then confirm if that title actually exists. So as landlord also, we have one of our property or one of our projects that also carries the Gazette, okay? So it's very critical document, and also it's valid because it's government given. Now, another title there or document that is also required is called the CFO, or the certificate of occupancy. Now, this is very popular because a lot of us know this, very, very popular, the CFO. So the CFO is one of the most important land title document that is used to certify legal ownership status of any land in Nigeria. Once a land has CFO, it's as good as, you understand, it's as good, very, very good. That does not negate the fact that the other titles or the other documents that I mentioned is not important. I'm only saying, all right, that the CFO is the highest, or put that the highest document you can ever have, all right, that is given by the government, okay? It's a legal document indicating that a person who has acquired an interest in the land has been granted a statutory right of occupancy by the governor. So the governor assents that this land belongs to this person and it's forever, all right? And one other thing also to note about this is that the CFO is not transferable. So you cannot have two CFO on one property, okay? So you can't have two CFO. Once you have a CFO, all right, on a property, even if that land is transferred to you, for example, you buy to an estate that has a CFO, you cannot have a CFO on that same land, but you can have, if you want to perfect a document and you want a government signed document just to be sure and put your mind at rest that that nothing will happen in the future as far as that land is concerned, all you can ever have is no longer a CFO, but what we call a governance consent. Governance consent. So CFO is one given to the first owner of a land, can never be issued again to another person. But if you are bought into an estate that has a CFO, all you can do to perfect the documents from the government is what we call governance consent, okay? So if you are following so far and you're getting value, please put in the chat room that you're getting value and this is making sense to you and you're getting good information from this conversation. Let me get that feedback quickly in 1 minute. Just put it there on the chat room, say I'm getting, you're right, so this I'm taking note. Say I'm ready, I'm getting excited, I'm excited, I'm getting value, say getting value. Put there, let me get that from the chat room. All right, so that I don't look as if I'm just talking and talking and talking. Okay, right? I'm the chat right now. Let's see that coming in. Let's see that coming in. Right, getting value. So this is getting value. If you're getting value, put on the chat room. Say getting value. Say getting value. Say getting value. Awesome, 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 awesome. Getting value. I can see that coming in. Say getting value. All right, let's have more people say getting value. Let's say getting value. That shows that someone is listening to me. All right, and I'm making sense. Awesome. Shuka says getting value. All right, so let me go. Tunde says getting value. Awesome, awesome. That's great. That's great. I'm so excited. We're getting so much value from this. I'm also excited that I'm getting to share this. All right, I'm so excited. Thank you so much. So let me run through this. All right, I have a few minutes to wrap this up. So let me run through this as fast as I can. So we are number 6. Okay, so let's go to the next one right now. Number 7 thing to consider when you're making a buying decision for any land in anywhere in Nigeria is you must consider the environment. The environment where the land is located is very critical. Okay, know how it affects you must know how it affects the inhabitants of that area in order to be sure of the safety of whoever will live there. Okay, make sure there are no toxic substances in the vicinity. All right. Make sure that the refuses, disposal, smoke from factories, ensure that the place is free from any of these things. Okay. Also, there's no seasonal flooding. You must ensure. And of course, this also affects the overall value at the end of the day and also affects the price. All right. So for some people who go to buy lands, all right, they say this land is very, very cheap. You must look at it. It probably is close to a sewage area or probably close to a gutter or probably, all right, a channel or something, all right? So at the end of the day, it affects the price, all right? The price is very, very pretty low. And some people say, this price of this place is far cheaper than the other one. You must be looking at the environment. It also affects price, affects the value, affects overall. You must be very, so that you don't lose your property or you don't lose your lands to scammers, or you lose your land in the future, or you yourself, you'll not be able to actually get the value for your investment. Okay. So number 7 thing, like I said, is environment. Okay. Number 8 thing to consider when making buying decision of lands in Nigeria is security. You must be sure of the security of the area where the land you want to buy is located. Try as much as possible to go for a land that boasts of a certain level of security. Ask yourself, is the area where this land is secure? Is it free from hoodlums, theft, and the likes? You must do a pretty research about that area. At least there must be stories from that area that prove that this place, not when I finish buying and then at the end of the day, I lose my land to hoodlums and all that. So you must be very sure about what you're buying. And of course, like I said, all these have been taken care of, all right, in our own company, okay? That's number 8 is security. Number 9, am I talking too fast? Is this fast or should I slow down? All right, like I said, all the time, I have just a limited time to do this. I want to run pretty through it as fast as I can so you can get it. But if I'm talking too fast, please let me know in the chat room, okay? Let me know in the chat room. So number 8, please, number 8 is security. Ensure that the place is secure, ensure that there are no troubles, make pretty research about that area and to be sure that it's free from issues that may enable you not to be able to get the value from your investment at the end of the day. All right. So number 8, like I said, is security. Number 9 is price. As you can see, price is almost going to the last. All right. Price is much later. Yes, budget, like I said at the beginning, you must look at your budget. But at the end of the day, you must consider all these other things, because when you make buying decisions into any land property in Nigeria or anywhere in the world, okay, you would have committed the price. They will tell you the price. They will tell you the asking price. You negotiate and all that. But it's not about the price. It's about the other things that I've mentioned, okay? It's about other things I've mentioned. It's about, let me recap again, all right? It's about your location. It's about your objective. It's about your location, all right? It's about the size. It's about the accessibility to the road network, very critical. Proximity to the road. Is it on the road? If it's far from the road, you affect the price, you affect the overall value. And of course, people, if you want to use for commercial reasons, of course, you know you cannot get a good value or return on investment on your buying or your purchase or your lands in the future. So all these are very critical. Like I've said, the title also very critical. The environment, very critical, the security, very critical, before you talk about the price. So like I said, consider the price of the land You intend to buy to know if the land is worth it. You yourself, you will know if this is worth it. You will know, all right? You will know if it's worth it. Okay, the location, the topography, the soil type, like I mentioned, of the land can influence the price. So if it's a slopy area or if it's a hilly area, it will affect the price. That's the truth about it, all right? If the shape is not rectangular enough or it's not square, it will affect the price. Very critical. If it's swampy, all right, if it's having water or it's dry, it will affect the price. Okay, the location where it is will also affect the price. Now, when it comes to location, there's a very good example I could use for those who live in Lagos State. All right, someone shared this with me sometimes past, right? I think a few months ago, and I was like, that's true. Now, if you're familiar with Lagos State, like I said, and you probably know the Ojodu area, all right, Omole Phase 1, Omole Phase 1 on the Ojodu axis, Ojodu Bega axis of Lagos State. Okay, now on this side of the road is Omole Estate. On the other side of the road there's a bus stop there. There's a bus stop on that side. I've forgotten the name right now. Now the price of land opposite, same bus stop, the price of land on the right side of the road. If you're coming from Ogba area, the right side of the road, Omole Estate, the price of land in Omole Estate is several times higher than the price of the land on the opposite side of the road. Why? Location, topography, soil type, because on that side of the road is a bit slopey. So it affected the price of land in that area. So like I said, all these factors must be duly considered, not just price alone. And of course, the expectation of future development can also influence the price of the land. And number 10, which is the greatest part of the best part of this whole conversation, is your return on investment. A land is arguably the only asset that does not depreciate over a long period of time. Okay, I knew this far back as when I was very, very young, that land does not depreciate, it appreciates. How fast it will appreciate is determined on the other factors that I've mentioned above. Buying a land is one of the surest ways to invest in the real estate business or in property buying on investment. You have to look at those other factors and it will ensure that you have a good return on investment. So ask yourself, where is government going? Where is the potential place where people are going? Then go there and buy. Why? Because you are looking at it from a business standpoint. Even if you're buying for residential, the value of that place will appreciate so much because you have looked at a potential growth of that area. So you must consider what's the return on investment for those who are buying to use for investment purposes or for commercial purposes. Even if you are using it for residential purposes, you have to look at, if I'm putting money in this, what's my possible return on investment in the next 1 year, the next 2 years, in the next 3 years, in the next 4 years? That will also influence the price, but price is not important if you make a good investment in the areas that has potentials for growth. So like I said, very critical, we have been able to ensure that all these factors are covered in our own estate, all right, in our different projects as our own, in our company. We have ensured that everyone who intends to make a buying decision into any of our projects are covered by all these factors that I've mentioned. Your budget is budget friendly, very budget friendly. The topography or the location, of course, very much on the road, access to the road, access to proximity to the road. We've also taken very cognizance of the topography. We're also taking cognizance of the different factors that I've mentioned. We look at the security, of course, very secure, very, very secure. The environment is serene. All right, if you want to use that on a holiday home or you want to use it for a resort home, we have you covered in our own organization. Of course, the titles are very much verifiable, very, very verifiable, and they are very legal and very legit. We've taken all these into consideration. So we have all the documents that I've mentioned right now. Okay, like I said, proximity to the road, also the different plot size will ensure. I'm going to share some of our value proposition as we end this conversation right now because I have a few minutes to wrap this up. But we'll also ensure that our plot size is one of the best in the industry right now. Land size is just on point, okay? Now, let me wrap this up next now. In a few minutes, like I said, I'm going to be wrapping this because I don't intend to keep you for so long. I don't intend to keep you for so long. All right, all right. So, now, real estate cannot be lost or stolen, nor can it be carried away. Nor can it be carried away. Purchased with common sense paid for in full and managed with reasonable care is about the safest investment you can ever think in the world. All right, this is said by the 32nd US President, Franklin D. Roosevelt. He said, real estate cannot be lost or stolen. It is the best and safest investment in the world. I have personal experiences in this area, and I'm very, very much telling you right now that you can be able to leverage on our experiences, leverage on what we've done over the years, and be able to use that. We have you covered in our company, and we ensure and we're giving value to all our clients so far that have been a part of us, okay? That has been a part of our organization. Okay, so who are we, or who we are? Let me just talk about who are we. All right, we are Landlord Real Estate. Landlord Real Estate is a real estate company, development and general construction company. We are focused on pioneering the integration of technology and automation in residential and commercial real estate using sustainable methods. Landlord Real Estate core team contains or consists of highly respectable individuals with years of experience and solid reputation, built on professionalism, integrity, and commitment to delivering value for all our stakeholders. At the heart of Landlord is a sincere and deep commitment to delivering a seamless and straightforward experience for each and every of our clients, okay? So this is very critical. Next is we have a statement of purpose, we have a vision statement, we have a mission statement, we have a corporate goal, and our corporate goal is to build the gap in Pan-African housing deficit, unlocking value for our stakeholders. One of our values is that we are very customer-centered, we are very customer-focused, and customer satisfaction is at the core of what we do. So we have a statement of purpose, very critical, and no customer has ever said that we sold land to them and they had issues over the years that we've been in business. Okay, like I said, I'm going to mention what stands out from other real estate companies. What stands out? These are just a few of other things that stands out as in the marketplace from differentiate us from other real estate companies. Number one is that we give bigger size plot. Our plot size is 600 square meters. We have others that are 500 square, 450 square, 400 square meters, but we give 600 square meters. Okay, so bigger size plot, number one. Instant allocation after full payment is number two. Instant. When we say instant, instant is as instant as instant. All right. What other name we use for instant? Like instant noodles, like instant payment, instant, anything instant. We give instant allocation after full payment. Number three there is that there are reduced restrictions on our assets. What does that mean? It means that when you buy into any of our project or estate, we have reduced restrictions. So we won't tell you, build it this way, don't build it this way, this roof is not okay, don't do the fence more than this. There are so many, all those restrictions that we have in other estates, this is how the color should be. No. We don't give so much restrictions. We just have the basic restrictions, just very, very basic, that anyone knows, all right? Basic, like this is where your roads, this is the distance between your drainage and your plot, also those basic things that are regular, that are basic for any estates to be able to run well. Okay, basic, but we don't give serious restrictions because we've discovered that these things put a lot of clients off. Also, there's transparency in our transactions with clients. We have both residential and commercial estates. So each of our projects are both residential and commercial. So it's not fully residential, it's not fully commercial. It's both residential and commercial, and that's great value. It means your land, or if you're buying for residential, it will appreciate very fast because at the end of the day, when we have people who purchase commercial, it brings in business down and the value of the land pushes up. Number three is, the next one there is transparency in the transactions with clients. Okay, very transparent. There's no hidden anything. Even if you are being referred in, there's transparency. You can see everything that is going on. You can ask, and it's fully automated. Okay. The next one is that we do direct delivery of documents to clients. That ensures also a transparency. Okay. That also ensures transparency. We will deliver your documents to you wherever, anywhere you are in the world, so that you know that I will put our seal there, and of course we send it through authorized delivery or courier services. Okay. And the next one is flexibility in our process and client satisfaction, like I mentioned that in the past, in the course of the conversation. Then the last thing there for what stands out in the marketplace is our estates are free from any encumbrances, very free from any encumbrances. Okay. Now, what are the projects? We have Royco there. We have Royco, one of our projects. All right. It's at Elerengbe by Alaro City. Just give me a few minutes, please. A few minutes. Yes. Okay. All right. So let me go back there on. All right. We have a first estate that can put on silent, please. We have a first estate that called Royco. It's called King's Court. It's at a Lereng Bay next to Alaro City in Lagos State, and a 600 square meter for that is 6 million naira per plot. We have a CFO covered by CFO or certificate of occupancy. We have another project at Eleko Town. The estate is Chesterfield Estate. It's located. Yeah, awesome, great. Yeah, your screen is not sharing. Crypto update. Yes, it's not sharing right now. I'm working on it, but I just want to finish this up quickly so we can ask questions. Great. All right. So we can ask questions. I'm working on it right now to ensure that it's taken care of. But I'll finish up right away. So 600 square meters on Chesterfield is 10 million naira. 10 million naira for 600 square meters on Chesterfield, and the location is at Eleko Town. Then the third project we have is on is called Edge Chateau. Now for the Chesterfield, the title on Chesterfield is called the Gazette. We have the Gazette. Remember, I mentioned the Gazette at the earlier stage. All right, so you're familiar right now with the Gazette. And then the third project that we're currently working on right now is Edge Chateau. The estate is Edge Chateau. Edge Chateau is at Oriorin. Oriorin is very, very close or next to the Lakapine Resort on Ibejuleki area of Lagos State. 600 square meters for that estate, 600 square meters cost anywhere. I can never get anywhere. Now, we did this sometime past, but I just felt I'm going to bring this on to us today. Okay, so for all those who have stayed to the end, I said, you're going to be getting a gift from us. You're going to get a gift from me. All right, a gift. You're going to get that gift for staying to the end. So please, not everyone who is part of this who have stayed to the end. And beyond that, you're going to take advantage of this offer right now. So for anyone who's right here right now, and you really, really want to be part of this exit, I've shared all you have to need to know right now when you're buying decisions in Nigeria of land. And I said, everything that is there, we have you covered already. We have you covered. We've taken advantage, we've taken care of everything, every fears, and we have our clients to show for it. We not only exist in Lagos, we exist in Abuja, we exist in Lawrence. So we are in 3 states in Nigeria. And our clients in the last couple of years have been very satisfied. So for this webinar, for those who are part of this webinar, and you have decided to be a part of the great work that we're doing, want to be a buy-in decision in any of our estates, we have decided to give a no-brainer 20% off from any of our estate projects. 20% off the price, of the regular price. So it means you're going to get 20% off the regular price for Chesterfield, that 10 million, 20% off the regular price of Exeter of 4.5 million. You're also going to get 20% off the regular price of Rico, which goes for 6 million. You're going to get 20% off if you are able to take advantage of this within the next 72 hours. Okay, you're able to make down payments of 20% deposit, and of course, schedule an inspection between now from Monday to Friday. Anytime that is very convenient with you, you're going to schedule an inspection. So you're going to come see it. But beyond that, you're going to make a down payment. If you can make a down payment of 20% of that price within the next 72 hours. So next 72 hours, beginning from now. Okay, so that means by Monday evening, you should have made some commitment. All right, you should have made some commitment. You're going to get 20% off 10 million. All right, so 20% off 10 million is like how much? You do the math. That's so much worth of savings for you. If you can make a down payment and, of course, schedule an inspection between Monday to Friday. So I'm going to wrap this off conversation right now. That's a whooping offer, and I'm going to hand it off back to Chinedu to take it off from there. But if you are wanting to take that offer, I want to be part of this, put it on the chat room right now. All right, that you want to be a part of that. All right, and then Chinedu is going to pick your details and your phone number. So put your phone number, probably your email address. We're going to reach you in the next few hours, so we can schedule an inspection with you and let you know the process of how you can actually take advantage of our exit projects. Right? So thank you so much, everyone. I want to hand this back right to Chinedu. Thank you for being a part, being an awesome audience. I've been a part of this conversation. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Abraham Abiodun, GMD of Landlord Real Estate, for the opportunity to share this. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Chinedu, for the opportunity for making this very seamless. And I'm so much. I want to say sorry for the laptop that went off at some point. All right, I couldn't able to see the screen, but critical, very critical. We are done with the conversation tonight. So get across to Chinedu, put it on the chat room right now that you want to be a part of this estate. You want to take advantage of the 20% off the regular price, and then we'll get across to you. So thank you so much, and I will hand this back to Chinedu. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Mr. Terry.
We can take questions too. We can take questions after now for those who want to take questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any question, guys? Any questions? Question time now. Terry is still around for the questions. And you can type the question or you can unmute and ask your question.
When is the promotion ending? All right. So, like I said, okay, let me answer this quickly. Now, like I said, this is a no-brainer offer. It's an offer, not really a promotion. It's an offer for everyone who is a part of this conversation this afternoon, okay? For those who are part of this conversation this afternoon, and it's open for another 72 hours. All right, for anyone, so I'm sure this is going to be put on YouTube. So for anyone who's going to be listening to this after now, for those who are not able to join this, okay, you are not able to join this, let's put our microphones on mute. So this offer is an offer for those who are part of the webinar. We are offering you 20% off the regular price of our estates. And if you're able to make down payments to commit yourself, and there's scheduling an inspection from Mondays to Fridays that you want to see, you want to come to inspect the estates, of course, it's open, but you want to make a commitment within the next 72 hours, this offer is open to you. So I believe I answered that right now. So if you have any other thing that you have, some other concerns and any other things, please reach out to our organizers, reach out to Chinedu, put it on the chat right now. And of course, we're going to drop our phone lines on the chat room so you can pick it up, and also watch out for our emails. I believe for joining this event today, you will have gotten our email. So watch out for our emails after this webinar for further information. Okay, so it's open. I believe I answered that question. Thank you so much.
Okay, Terry, there's another question. It's asking for the office, but I can't. Yeah, I can answer that anyway.
Yeah, you can answer that. Thank you.
Okay, sir. All right. Interesting. So the location of the office is number 5, ADBC Popola Crescent, Lekki Phase 1, Lagos. The offer is open to people who have participated in this webinar, and that's a response to that. So is someone else got a question? I don't know. Terry is still around.
Mr. Chinedu.
Mr. Sadiq, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I have a question for Mr. Terry.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Terry, thank you so much for the wonderful delivery. Your presentation was awesome. But the question is...
thank you so much, Sir Sadiq, for that. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. My question is, what factors determine the price of a land in a particular area? Like for instance now, if you're talking at Omodibo Phase 1, like Admiralty, where we know that a plot of land is cannot be lesser than 150 million to 200 million. So in so many areas too, if we discover that if you're talking about Ogba, you're talking about Ikeja, so there's always a fixed price. Like, so what factor determines that?
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for that question. Awesome for that. Thank you so much for that question. I believe you can hear me. Now, I mentioned that in the course of the conversation, that there are a lot of factors that determine the price. Okay, so I mentioned number one thing you need to consider there is the location. Where is it? That's why I use that explanation of Omodibo Phase 1 that on this side of Omole Estate, the price of land there is far, far, far higher, several times percentage higher than the other side that they called Akiode. I remember the name now, Akiode. Akiode bus stop is just on the other side. Same bus stop, same bus stop. This side, land is far, the price of a plot of land there is far, far higher than the other side. Same bus stop. Why? Because there are other factors, the topography of the area. Is it slopey? Is it hilly? All right, those things are also very important. Also, other factors is how close is it to the road? Is it close to the road? Is it on the road? Is it some distance from the road? Very, very also critical. The shape is also another thing. What is the shape of that place? So you can have several different people in the same estate, whereas the value of lands in that same estate may vary. So if you are closer to the road, you have, of course, the value or the price, it's going to be further for the end user from those who are the rare in same estate. So all these things, location is very critical. Another thing also is the title, okay? The title that covers that estate or covers the land is also very important. It affects the price. The next thing there is the potential growth of that area. So this is what I say, all right? If you buy a land at Ogun State, on very close to Lagos State, of course, you expect the prices to be much different from, let me give you an example. If you buy land at Isheri in Ogun State, Isheri is just next to Bega, next to Lagos. It's far, the price is far, very or different or higher than when you buy at somewhere around Ibafo, Mowe on that axis, even further to Shagam. Why? Because of proximity. Where is government looking at? Okay, so let's take to Lagos State, for example. You want to buy a land in Lekki Phase 1, of course, you expect the price to be far, higher than if you want to buy in Ikate, if you want to buy in Ikota, if you want to buy in Aja, if you want to buy in Sogotedo. And as you go further down, the prices differ, okay? So that's why you must look at location and not location. You must also look at the potential growth. Where is government looking at? Where are they building roads? Right now, in my own neighborhood here, they are building roads yet right now. Just because of the fact that there's road construction going up, the prices of the rents have gone up, the prices of lands have gone up. And of course, that's going to go up. As soon as the road is completed, it's going to go up. On the Lagos Ibadan Expressway, right now, construction is going up. It's also affecting the prices of land. So you must look at where government is going. You must look at what is the potential area. So for now, Lagos State, amongst other areas, is a potential area for growth right now. That's where government is. If you go on that axis, so much is going on. Industrialization is going on. There's so much road network being built right now in that axis. And of course, everybody wants to buy land in that area because you want to be the one that's going to be providing lands for those who will be coming 4 years' time, 5 years' time, 6 years' time to come and purchase land. Of course, banks will come later in the next 5, 6 years to Dangote area because of the refinery and they want to buy land. Who is going to be selling to them? It's you and I who buy lands today. So you must be strategic in your buying decision. Look at where government is going. Look at the potential area for growth. Look at where you know that you can get quick return on investment in a very short time, and then pitch your tent there and buy now. Buy now, buy now, buy now, because tomorrow may be too late. And like they said, like at end this conversation, they said the best time to buy a plot of land is 5 years ago. Not even yesterday. It's 5 years ago. The next best time is today. So invest now, buy now. Thank you so much. I believe I answered your question. Over to you, Shinedu. Over to you, Shinedu.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Terry. Thank you so much. So we appreciate you, Mr. Terry. And for every one of us that have attended the webinar, I have your emails, and I think, yeah, I've got some emails right here. You'll get the ebook this evening. So latest this evening. So you can get the ebook this evening and send to your email. And it's so important to note that you can always get in touch with us. The office address, like I said, is number 5, Adebisi Popola Crescent, Lekki Phase 1. And you can also call our line, which is 091-218 01010. So if you got a question, I just put the phone number right here. Just in case you want to have a chat with any one of us at Landlord Real Estate. Yeah, I'll drop the number right here and you can ring us. Get in touch with us on that number. All right, thank you all for coming around, and I hope you enjoyed the webinar. I don't know if you have any other questions, but Terry's still around though. But if you have a question, you can drop it and send us an email. The email address is right there as well, info@landlordrealestate.com. I'll just write it down, landlordsltd.com. Yeah. So you have the email, you have a phone number, so you can get in touch. So thank you for coming. We have come to the end of this webinar, and I hope you have a lovely weekend. Thank you so much. Okay, someone is raising a hand. I'm not sure. Sadiq, do you have a question? Sadiq?
Yes, Mr. Chinedu. Just a quick one to Mr. Terry. I just got this question from one of my clients now as regards the topic of discussion. So, and the question is considering the economic activities and economic and industrial activities like currently going on at Ibeju-Lekki, where majorly the two projects of LRE is currently on right now. So, this client is of the opinion that a lot of estates, a lot of projects by different real estate and developers are on that axis. Like people are already taking advantage, forecasting that by the time the Dangote refinery would commence, that a lot of people, a lot of workers would be there needing accommodation. But right now, he is asking that there's a forecast that later on in the long run that there would be more houses vacant than number of workers and people that would be living there. So I want to ask Mr. Cherry. So Mr. Cherry, what do you feel? What can you say? What can you say to that? That in the long run, that houses will be more than people that will be living at Ibeju-Lekki. So just a quick one.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sadiq, for that very good question. Like you said, that is his opinion. All right, that is his opinion. If you look critically, right, Glory, can you put your microphone on mute? Yeah, thank you. All right, so it's his opinion, and his opinion may not be right, may not be correct. From my experiences so far, I've been on the real estate and housing sector for pretty a while. Like I said, since 2005. 2004, I started seeing so much development going on in Lekki. And like I used to share this of my, what did they call it, naivety now? I was a novice and naive, especially in those times where development was coming to Lekki Phase 1. Okay, 2004. I saw a lot of people buying water practically, and then filling those water. And that's today is where they call Lekki Phase 1. If you want to rent house in Lekki, a 4-bedroom duplex right now in Lekki Phase 1, they call 10 million naira, 11 million naira, 12 million naira. You want to buy a land there, of course, you're going to pay hundreds of millions. But then people were also postulating of looking at it that lands and people will also, there'll be a lot of houses and people will not be there to live in. So like I said, that's his own opinion, and that is not entirely true. Where people gravitate to where they will make money or where there is prospects for development. Okay, like I said, if you're looking at Ibeju-Lekki and that area right now, I think so much lately, if you've been to Ibeju-Lekki 2004, 2005, 2008, 2009, 2010, you will bear with me right now that Ibeju-Lekki 2010 and Ibeju-Lekki 2020 is not the same. All right, I was at that axis before 2010, and if you're driving, you're getting to Ajah. From Ajah, if you're driving down, it's all bush. Lagos Business School, Pan African University were like spots in the forest at those times, those years. But right now, if you are not so careful and you are driving in that direction right now, you may, if you're not very conversant with that area, you may drive past it, but you drive past Lagos Business School or drive past Palanica University. If you're going to be putting on the chat, say agree. Okay. So, and of course, people gravitate to where businesses are going. People gravitate to where things are happening. So in Bejuleki area, especially in the Dangote refinery axis right now, looking at the whole industrialization going on, production companies are going on there. So many things are happening right now in that axis. So many things are happening right now. So looking at the prospects for development, it has been projected that that area is going to be a major hub for activities. So who is going to provide houses for them? Expatriates are going to be coming in. People are going to be living there. People want to stay in those areas for businesses. They don't want to drive through traffic. The government is expanding the road. Where are they going to live? Nobody wants to drive into traffic. So where are they going to live? They're going to live in the houses. So I don't agree with that person that there will be vacancies or vacant houses. There's no vacant houses in Banana Island. There's no serious vacant houses in Banana Island. No serious vacant houses in Ikoyi. No serious vacant houses in VGC right now. So why should there be vacant houses in those areas where there is going to be industrial hub or commercial activities going on? So that's my own opinion. That's what it's going to be. And I encourage that your client to invest now so that I don't be like me like 10 years ago, who did not do very well to invest in Lekki. And today, I'm like, I should have been a multi-millionaire. Now, let me wrap this up. I had a client who I took to see the site very much lately. I had a client, and he, 10 years ago, happened to wanted to buy somewhere around where we have Echeta right now, 12 years ago. He actually bought several hectares, all right? He told me he bought several hectares with his friend 12 years ago. Then he told me while we're on the side that right now, can somebody put that microphone on mute? Glory, put your microphone on mute, please. So he told me that 12 years ago, you can hardly count the number of cars that will drive past if you're standing on the main road. You can count the number of cars. I'm talking about a client that I took to see a site, okay? That you can count the number of cars. So even while we're on Chesterfield at Eleko looking at the site, we're inspecting the site and looking at the road, he was seeing cars pass. He said, wow, such a marked difference in such a short time of cars driving, just cars driving. So right now he's considering buying because then at that point, that time, he ran into some scammers, ran into some people, and they duped them lost the land. So when I heard that, I told him straight on that, if you happen to have that land today, you'd have been a multi-billionaire, all right? Having several hectares of land in that area, okay? Why? Because there are several estates in that area right now. And of course, like I said, there'll be people living there in the next 2 years, the next 3 years, the next 4 years, the next 5 years. As soon as Dangote refinery start operating in full-blown, you will see a lot of people trooping in there. People are trooping in there right now. Lots of commercial activities going on right now, all right, from Monday to Fridays in that axis. You don't want to wait to look, all right, to see first before you go do investment, all right? You want to invest right now and be the persons that are going to be selling land to people that time when it happens. So thank you so much. And that's it. That's valid, all right? And I encourage you to buy my idea. I've seen it happen in the past, and it's going to happen again. Thank you so much. Over to you, Shinedu.
Okay, thank you, Terry. I think we have a question on the chat from Chuka. It says, what's the healthcare preventive measure that has been set in place within the Ibejuleki axis due to the refinery? Should I come again?
Can you ask that again?
Okay, so Chuka is asking a question. It's on the chat. It says, what's the healthcare preventive measure that has been set in place within the Ibejuleki axis due to the refinery?
Okay. All right, thank you, Chuka, for that question. In terms of healthcare preventive measures, are you talking about from the refinery area or from estates around there? So first of all, what you need to know is this. The refinery is very close to where they call Lekki Free Trade Zone. And there's also what we call Lagos Free Trade Zone. So in that, if you've been there, you will discover that there is a vast expanse of land between where we have residential properties or residential estates and the refinery and the Lekki Free Trade Zone. So there are areas that have been mapped out by the government that separates that. And I believe also that every healthcare or every regulations by government has been put in place to prevent that from that standpoint. Okay, from that standpoint. Now, our own estate is at a distance from the refinery itself, so that gets us covered. And of course, people are already living in that axis right now. They're already living there. Okay, and also there are other estates that are also in that neighborhood that are at a distance. Okay, from there. So what I'm trying to say is that the government itself has mapped out areas for industrial activities, and also mapped out areas for residential activities. So that has taken into care of what I said in the initial stage of serenity area or environment in terms of the health hazard that may come from industrial activities. I believe that has been mapped out by the government. Hence, you cannot just buy just any land. Hence, you need to check the title. Okay, most titles in that area is the Gazette, is because government has mapped out those areas and they've said these areas are for industrial activities, these areas are for residential activities. So I believe at the end of the day, those things will be taken care of and you don't have to worry about all those things. Now, from healthcare as our estate is concerned, there will be access to healthcare facilities, all right, there will be access to security, there will be access to basic amenities that every smart and green estate should have. We are providing all that for all our projects, especially the projects on that neighborhood. I mean, the Chesterfield and also the Exeter. So you don't have to worry about all that because everything will be taken care of. Thank you so much, and I believe that answers your question. Over to you, Chinedu.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Terry. I think that answers Chuka's question. And in the absence of any other question, I think we have come to the end of the webinar. All the information you need is on the screen right now. So if you want the phone number, if you want the email address, if you want our website, you have them on the chat right now. So you can pick any of the information you need, and for the ebook, you'll get the ebook this evening. So tomorrow morning, just check your email. You should get the ebook by tomorrow. I mean, when you check your email tomorrow. Okay, and you're all very welcome to the webinar. And I would say, have a great weekend, a restful weekend. I'll see you at the top. Thank you.